BBC eating itself alive. David Mitchell annihilating the BBC. This bloody cheek of Dr. Christian. Have you seen this fellow who lost a libel action on Friday and now wants his fans via a GoFundMe page to pay for it? Disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, all of them, the Charlotte Church one particularly, and especially one you all mentioned, I'll call that Jordan, but anyway, Katie Price, and all the rest of it. The thing is, Alex, at the end of the day, all these celebrities, and like you say, the left is eating itself, the BBC is eating itself, and it's all because we're not interested. The people on the ground.
Oh, by the way,
the
just
real
to interrupt,
people.
we have to now change the lawyers have been in touch, and you have to say the evil BBC now. Before we say, you always have to preface it with the evil BBC. So just every time, repeat after me: the evil BBC.
The evil BBC.
The
Without
evil BBC.
saying
Exactly.
I'd say the insignificant.
That's right.
BBC.
Yes, we must repeat that because only an evil organisation would have a statue on the front of it that was made by a man who raped his 2 daughters and the family dog, and then harbour lies and cheats that leads to the death of a princess, and then tries to get me arrested and hoping I'd kill myself. You know, it's not nice people. So the evil BBC, I think, is the future. They must have a real.
No, I agree with you. The evil BBC. There aren't journalists. The university students that have never seen anything of life, not a thing of life, and they think they know better than us because they've got a degree in, I don't know, sewing or something. And it's an absolute joke.
I know. All right, sir, thank you so much for your call. Thanks for kicking us off this evening. I appreciate it.
Right.
Happy June 1st tomorrow. Bye, love. Ta-da. Love you. Nothing you can do about it. 6 after 9. Here we go, then. The phone in is live, and you are on the air. Hi, who's calling? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who's that?
Hello?
Turn your radio off, sir. Yes, turn your radio off and listen to your phone. You're live on the air. What can I do for you?
Oh, I'm watching on telly.
Yes, you are, sir. Well, if you can call it. Are you watching on a telly? Because if it's on a tippy-tappy, you're on the tippy-tappy. If it's in a handheld, you're in a handheld. If you...
I've got this in my phone. I've got the telly, I've phoned it. Well, look, sir, I think you're absolutely brilliant.
Well, thank you very much. You're very kind. What's on your mind tonight?
No, truthfully, the wife don't understand you see. And it's not a lefty. She's very sensible.
Well, I'm the judge of that. What's she on about?
Cargo holder,
look, the other day she was
capacity.
in the other room, and I was silly talk. And I was listening to you on the TV, like.
Correct. Very good.
And then it goes to me, he sounds like Ken Dodd, he does. And I went, you know what? That's your biggest person you like, eh?
Well, yeah, I worked with Ken for 25 years, so I take that as a huge compliment. I mean, he was a multi-millionaire. He was deeply attractive. He'd got wonderful hair. I mean, he was a singer at the top of his
He was absolutely brilliant. Me personally, I just think you're brilliant.
Well, you're very kind. Was she being sarcastic, Marty? Let's put her on the phone.
No, she wasn't actually. To be honest, she doesn't. Your sense of humour is very dry.
Yes, is she a bit sarky? Does she always got to have a zinger, teach you a lesson and put you in your place?
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, yes. I thought she might be. Well, listen,
I've been married for 31 years, so I'm used to it now.
31 years, dear God. Don't you get bored? Sometimes, don't you look at her and you want to say to her, when I look into your eyes, time stands still. And then you look at her and you go, my God, your face could stop a clock. You know what I mean?
Now, to be honest with you, I've gone a bit. The only thing I could say about it, to be honest with you, is that I still look the same when it was like 16. Now there's like 49 now. Yeah. So has that actually changed?
Well, I suppose it's a bit like the tattoo, isn't it? When you first met her, you know, it was a lovely, svelte little dolphin from SeaWorld, and now it's a killer whale. I mean, these things can happen over 30 years, can't they? You know what I mean?
You know what it is.
Yes, I do. Well, I think so. We had a dalliance once in the 70s. Sir, thank you very much. Thanks for calling, and I love you.
Thank you. I think you're brilliant, mate.
You're very kind. Thanks.
Hello, mate. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hi, who's calling? You're live on The Voice of Reason.
Hello there. I'd like to speak to Mr. Belfield, if I may.
You are live on the air, sir. What can I do for you?
Hello, it's Alan Wren.
Hello, Alan. Where are you from?
I'm from Stafford.
Very good. How's it down there tonight?
It's not too bad. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. I've had a lovely day. I've been walking a lot today. We went to the pub. I mean, there was tons of people having a great time. You wouldn't think no mask anywhere. We don't need those outside in the sunshine. Everybody's acting normally. Everybody's just getting. I mean, and they're not winning. If they're trying to ruin our spirit, it's not going to happen. So we fight on regardless. So I don't know about you.
That's fantastic, Mush. What I'd like to talk to you about, if I may, is a video you put on the 26th on Wednesday with, and it was you put it down as the YouTube evil BBC fail. Oh yes, it actually came out on the 21st of April, and I filmed it, and I've actually got the video, and I'm more than happy to share it with you. I did try and send this to you the other day, but it actually came out at 13 minutes past 4 in the morning.
That's right. They hoped it disappeared, but we get everything in the end. What it was an interview where they hoped a gentleman of colour was going to slag off white people and slag off us for being racist, and he ended up saying, well, no, you've got every right to be, because there's major problems, and I apologise on behalf of white people for the wrongs, and most of us like me are wonderful, and this is the kind of guy I want to go to the pub with. Just because he's black doesn't mean that he's going to have any problem with us any more than we should have any problem with him. And I think it was a great way of exposing the BBC that they thought they'd hired a gentleman of colour to wade in on the old BLM thing. And I thought it was very timely, because it was the reason I played it was the first anniversary of Mr. Floyd's passing. But again, you know, even today, I've just done a story which is outrageous on BBC WM today. They did a church service where they did a tribute to George Floyd. This man shouldn't have died, and what happened to him was awful, but he was a fucking career criminal. Where's the Lee Wrigley tribute?
I agree with you.
This stuff makes my piss boil, and the contradictions are screaming. I don't want my BBC, evil BBC, to be pumping out religion anyway at the best of times, especially when 1 minute it's this religion. Listen, just leave religion out of it. It's too complicated. Just be entertaining, and certainly don't politicise religion. The two biggest things to piss people off.
Thank you, Alex. I mean, and this is why I've called tonight. I've been counting down the minutes to speak to you this evening, and been trying relentlessly to try and get a hold of you, and it's just fantastic, and I thank you very much for that.
Anything else?
No, that's everything.
Well,
thank you
for
much,
listening, and thank you for letting me know. Appreciate it. You're a top man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers. Ta-ra. I just want to say a very quick hello to my Amazon man the other day who dropped off a new telly. Tim the Amazon man, he's Tim Hammond, that's his dad. And he lives in Stoke-on-Trent, and apparently watches every week. And this will be a surprise to him. Your son dropped off my new telly from Amazon. So there you go. And it's Tim Hammond, and he's in Stoke-on-Trent. So thank you very much for listening, sir. I appreciate it. So many kind people. Everywhere I go, it's unbelievable. I got off the train at St. Pancras the other week, and I thought I was being ran over by a bus. Honk, anyway. And he goes, all right, mate, what are you doing down here? And you go, wow, I'm in London, and so it's overwhelming, and it's incredible. And this is the greatest party on earth. So thank you to everyone. And we'll do the mailbag at the end. I promise I'll read some of these letters and thank everybody for your kindness. And thanks to my receptionist at the Lamley, Karen, too. She has to go through it all. So there you are. Right, to the phones we go. Let's see who's on the line. Line 453. Hello, who's calling?
Hi, it's Nikki.
Oh, hello, love. Where are you?
I'm calling from Cresswell. I've called before.
Yes, I know Cresswell. I had an uncle who lived in Clown with an E.
Yeah.
Not far from there. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Well, I know I've spoken to you before, and I know I'm not a first-time caller.
Yes, you're very naughty. I shall have to put you over my knee and spank you with a scented bootlace, love. You mustn't come twice in the first 45 minutes. Ask Boris. It's a very good rule for life, love. What can I do for you?
Well, basically, I was wanting to talk to you about the evil BBC. And you know, BBC? The Princess Diana killing.
Yes.
Well, I'm really miffed, because I know she was unlawfully killed, or at least that's my opinion anyway.
Well,
or shall I say allegedly?
Well, it's not allegedly. She got in a car of a driver who was drunk. So, I mean, there is absolute culpability there. Whoever was driving the car shouldn't have been driving the car. She shouldn't have been in that car in the first place. So I hear what you're saying. Killed is a strong word, but I hear what you're saying, and you can't defame the dead, so we'll move on from that. Go ahead. What can I do for you, Betsy?
But what my problem is
Yes.
that everyone's all, saying, oh, this is, the Martin Bashir documentary thing. Everyone's talking about how this should be the end of the BBC and everything. But what about what happened with the Savile, victims? What about the countless victims? When all this come out years ago, what about all the victims that got affected by that slimy cons? I mean,
but darling, you're not saying anything new. I mean, there is absolutely, what we're not going to get into is comparing the death of Diana with a Savile victim. I mean, this is all abhorrent. And what we have to say to ourselves is, this is a culture. This is how they feel they can behave, that if they know somebody is a pervert or a criminal or a liar or a cheat, they will sweep it under the carpet. And I'm telling you, the thing they're going to do with me next, imminently, is try and sweep it all under the carpet and hope it goes away. And maybe it'll take me 25 years to end up the top story on the news at 6. But I'm telling you, they haven't changed. The man who was responsible for bringing back Martin Bashir, knowing what happened, was Lord Hall, who oversaw my corruption, who oversaw me being arrested 5 times, who presumably had to sign off the money and the right for their corruption and security at RPC. So the evil BBC are that. I mean, I'm sure there are a few nice people within it, but I'm telling you, there aren't many I've met in my... I was there 15 years.
Between, I think.
I'd probably only invite 5 people I met in 15 years into my home from the BBC. They are not my type of people. They are institutionally arrogant. They will cover up any amount of shit. They're constantly the victim, and they're never accountable. And the fact Martin Bashir is able to still hide under the guys of, oh, I'm poorly, I'm poorly. No, you're not fucking poorly. You're well enough to do an interview for the Times last weekend. You're well enough to stand in front of a policeman and tell your story on tape, under oath, and then appear in front of the judge. I'm sorry, you can't be doing interviews with newspapers and then claiming you're not well enough to speak to the police. Fuck right off. I don't believe you. If you want to sue me for libel, go ahead. I dream of having a day in court with all these people, because no judge in the land is going to back them. They're discredited,
and you know what?
They're evil and vile. And
you know what? Everyone in this household and all around the globe support you. Honestly.
Thank you, darling. Well,
we've pledged to you.
Thank you, love. Well, we've got on account now. This is right from the very beginning. The original money and this money. It's over £100,000 now. It's untouched mostly. Yeah, it's a huge amount of money, and I'm not having a penny of it. It's there with Henry Brownman, and step by step by step, we are going to get each and every one of these snakes into court, and we're going to have them account for themselves. And you know what? I
hope you burn them alive and all.
Well, let's let the judges do that. The judges will decide whether or not they feel that I've been rightly or wrongly treated. As I sit here, and a year on from having my life ruined, or that was their intention, I'm the biggest I've ever been. I'm the most successful I've ever been. I've got the biggest voice I've ever been, which is terribly unfortunate for them. And I've got the most money I've ever had to fight this properly with lawyers in the High Court, and then hopefully win and give every single penny to charity. And I hope the evil scumbags and the evil BBC are taught a lesson, but something tells me not. I don't think so. They are completely and utterly vile and arrogant, and I think Bashir is the tip of the iceberg and sums up everything I've been saying. I think I'm vindicated on the back of him, to be honest.
Definitely. But can I just go back to Savile for 1 second?
Yes.
Just for 1 second. I weren't trying to compare his death with Diana.
No, I know what you're saying.
I was just trying to say how his evil acts were covered up by the BBC.
Yes.
And
they sent me to his house, darling. They sent me to his house. My producers at Radio Leeds sent me to his house to do his last interview.
God.
Now, what were they doing? I didn't know him. I didn't know anything. How did that even happen? When Radio Leeds, the place where he lived in Roundhay Park, in that flat at the top, where you go up in the lift and the doors open and there he is. How did that happen, and why did that happen? I think the whole thing stinks, and you only know what you know at the time.
Definitely.
And they knew, and they still allowed it. They still allowed him to be broadcast. They still allowed me to go in. I should sue them for that. I never even thought of it. It's disgusting. All right, darling. Thank you, sweetheart.
Well, love to you, and I hope you kick their asses for them.
Well, listen, a judge will decide. But what they were hoping was, A, I'd top myself, B, I wouldn't have the money to do it, and C, I wouldn't have the voice to be able to tell people wrong, wrong, wrong. And
Well,
unfortunately, they've underestimated their thicko, who they thought was from a council estate with no uni education and would be trampled over by big lawyers. Well, I'm not intimidated by them, and I can't wait to face them, and I will speak. I'm going to a hearing on June the 11th, and I will speak. I'm going to name every one of the fuckers. I'm going to name every one of the lies that DC Percival has made in the last year, and I'm going to out Nottingham Police and the BBC, and there's nothing they can do about it. All right, darling?
You know what? Can I just say, though, I've been in your shoes, but not to the exact same extent.
Yeah.
But I have been in your shoes.
Are you okay now?
Well, I've been better. But, you know, I still want some kind of legal recourse. You know, I'm struggling with that. But, you know, I could just do with something, you know, some advice from yourself, maybe, you know.
All right. Call me another night, and we'll do that. Yeah, do it. Call me back again after 10 on another night, and I'll help you if I can. All right, my darling?
Lovely. Love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I love you more. Try, love. See you in a bit.
Try.
Bye, darling. 0115 888 1123. The lines are full this evening, but keep trying. Try your hand now or forever hold on to your peace. Hello, who's calling?
Oh, good evening, Alex. Are you the thicko from the council estate?
Oh, my God, love you won't believe it. Thick as two short planks here, but I'm not doing bad to say I'm a bit of a farthead, you know.
Right, well, I tell you why I'm Phil. I'm a thick fucking wagon driver. I'm on A5. I'm actually from Bradford. Well, Halifax originally, but I'm on A5 down Watling Street at the moment because you know some of us have to work for a living. Not like them bastards at that evil BBC.
Thank you. Correct. You know the truckers, right? Can I ask you an honest question?
Yeah, of course you can.
Are you light on your feet, or do you have you got a wife? What are you?
Oh no, I've got she's a wonderful wife. I don't know how she puts up with me.
Well,
I do.
The reason I ask for it, sir, you know the truckers when they're in lay-bys. A young man must get very tired and lonely when you're travelling, I don't know, to France or Spain or Germany when the borders are open, and you're in those lay-bys of an evening, and there's occasionally a stiff breeze because those trucks, they're not very watertight, and suddenly you'll feel a stiff one up your back. Is there any hanky-panky or shenanigan goes on with the truckers? Because it seems to me a very strange way I remember reading a story once about Paul, somebody from, I don't know, a talk radio station somewhere, and it seems like there could be open to interpretation, couldn't it? A sleeping cabin in a truck.
Well, I don't know. Do you know, I've never done none of that European. I tramp. I what they call tramp. We live like tramps. That's why they call us trampers. I do 4 on. I do 4 on, 4 off. I do 4 days in wagon, 4 days in pub. It's bloody marvellous.
Oh, fantastic.
And
weren't you a long distance lorry driver on the Isle of Wight back in the 90s?
I've never been to Isle of Wight. Hey, that's where our Navy she's going on when is she? July sometime she's going down there. So
brilliant.
But anyway, right. I'm not going to get loads and loads of callers. You've no idea how many times I've had. Do you know, man? Right. I talked to a few debate radio stations.
Yeah.
And you are the hardest one to get in touch with.
I know they don't get calls. I will say that. I'm quite humble when it comes to taking praise, but I do know I've worked on enough myself. They don't get calls on call radio in this country.
Hey,
but,
I'll tell you what. I've been ringing constantly. If I'm working, I ring you, right? And last time, 247 calls. None of them answered. Right.
Oh, man,
no, that's not a problem. That's not criticism. That's your appreciation. That's the following that you have got.
So where are you going tonight, sir? From Halifax to where?
No, I came down our up shaft last night. I called down at Bradford and I picked another load up, did a quick Normanton, and then I'm just doing a Tamworth. I'm going down to Carlsberg down to Northampton tomorrow. Going back up to Normanton.
Well, get out of Northampton quick. There's some very dodgy characters there.
Never mind all that. Right?
I'm thinking of dropping a load in Tamworth this evening as well, sir, but that might be something a little different, you know. Let's see whether Busty Barrel is available after the show. Needs must.
Well, listen, I've got a couple of points, right?
Yeah, go on.
I've got to bring to your attention freedom of information and subject access requests. With all that's going on with Nottingham Police, I've got a little bit of a beef with West Yorkshire Police at the moment, right? And I know, yeah, because I've heard you mention him before, Crime Bodge, right?
Yes.
He gives brilliant advice, right? And I've just done a subject information request and a subject access request, and I've just had 4 emails in the last 2 days while I work 4 on 4 off. So I've been busy, and I haven't had a chance to reply to them, and they're just bamboozling me with bullshit at the moment.
Yeah, they do.
But, right,
that's the game, by the way. You're not joking, by the way. That is the game. That is their... Yeah.
Absolutely, I think it is, right? But my wife, she works for a solicitor, so she's used to this shit, right? I'm a thick old wagon driver, right? But
You don't sound that thick to me, sir. I like it.
Well,
go on.
Well, listen, right? If I explain something to our Belinda, right? She manages to put it so succinctly, right? Because she's writing legal letters all day, right? And I fired one. I went put over there, and I rubbed in, a bit bored, so I fired one off of them, right? And they've tried to pop me. But I've taken Crime Bodge's advice, right? But I'm just wondering, your solicitor, Henry Brown. I'm sure if you picked him, he's a good man. But you can get the subject access request.
Well, we're going to do that at the end. What we need, sir, let me just tell you why we haven't done subject access, and this is what they call a DP request at some places. It's not that deep penetration thing on the old tippy-tappy. It's data protection and all of that, and it basically, you are allowed with any public body to get any information that contains your name. If it has your name on it, so we can get everybody. What I want to get, the next thing is every single scumbag, low-life troll that has reported us to the police, guess what? I can get that because my name is involved. And we're going to get these people and we're going to sue them. But now's not the time because they're not replying to the most important questions. I want to get them on the ropes. I want a line drawn under this, one way or the other, and then we go for them. I mean, I know what you mean about legal letters. When that scumbag from the evil BBC wrote and threatened me with the High Court, I told Henry to write back, tell them to fuck right off. They won't know how to reply to it, and now lawyers won't do that. They want to write 17 paragraphs. Why do they want to write 17 paragraphs, my friend? It's because they're being paid. They're being paid to write 17 paragraphs. And I've tried to stand, and Henry's amazing. He's the best lawyer I've ever met in my entire life. And I say to him, don't indulge. They want to write 16-page letters, write back 1 paragraph. Because you can't fight somebody that's blindfolded and got their hands tied behind the back. And it's a game.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Alex, right, but God, I hear you spouting up. Just listen to me for a minute. You know, last March, 12 months since, 15 months since, I went out to feed a beggar outside the co-op, right? And he got hassled. Well, I'd seen him. I lived next door to a co-op, and I'd seen him, right? And I said, hey, up, Michael, do you fancy a sandwich and a pot of coffee, love? And it was March, it was cold, he says, oh, do you? And by the time, it took me 2 or 3 minutes, because I only live next door, right? By the time I mashed kettle, I'll ask him to put him in jock up for work. We made him hot beef sandwich, round and a pot of coffee. And when I got back round, there were a couple of PCSOs, right, from West Yorkshire Police. I'm not naming because I'm going to fight this bastard, right? And it ended up, right. It were a typical ex-marching muppet, Bobby, right? And he turned his back on me, very, very ignorantly. He turned his back on me. So I simply put my right hand on his right arm and said, "Excuse me." Turned around. I ended up on an assault charge, an assault of the PCSO. I'm 54-year-old. I was 54 last week. My father would have turned in his grave if he knew what I'd been up for, right?
But you know what they wanted me to do when Martin Swinscoe came and bashed my door down was to get excited and put my arm up, and then that's what they wanted. That's why I went like a filleted lettuce split, because I knew what they were provoking me to do. I knew what they wanted. This is their tactic.
I'm not even BBC trained like you.
Yeah, well, I wasn't until it started. Yeah,
Right.
no, I know.
But anyway, look, what the main point I want to make is today I listened to debate radio. I've been actually 15 hours today, right? You know my day's work. You know these furlough fuckers at BBC. How many is it?
16,000 working from home. How do you feel about that?
They won't know nothing about this, right? 15-hour day. That's 2 days, isn't it? No,
that's a
it's
week.
just a day. Yes. I listen to debate radio, and I've had that. I know I shouldn't mention it on your wonderful Virginist channel, but I've had that LBC on talk radio and all the rest of it shy, and they're all going on about this jab with NHS workers, right? Well, I'll tell you something. I haven't had the jab, and
we're not talking about that, sir, because we're not allowed. So I'll tell you now, you won't hear that on here. So it's simple as that. So we won't talk about that. Listen, I'm going to move on because we've got a full switchboard. Do call me again. I love you very much. You're a salt of the earth star as far as I'm concerned. If I can help you with what you're going to fight with West Yorkshire Police. Thank God it wasn't South Yorkshire, or they'd have brought Cliff's copper chopper and skydived into your house to probably arrest you. Just know that the truth out's in the end. They're trying to scare you. They're trying to intimidate you. They wanted to teach you a lesson, which is what they did with me. And where has it got them with me? They look like a bunch of arseholes, and they are. And I will have my day in court to prove it. Don't you worry about that. Sir, thank you so much for ringing. Have you gone?
No, sorry, Alex.
Are you nodded off?
No, I thought you'd moved on, mate.
No, I want to thank you for your call. That's all.
That's marvellous. I fully understand what you're saying.
And next time, would you make me a beef sandwich and a mug of coffee? That'd be pretty marvellous.
I'll make you a beef sandwich anytime.
I like the beef curtain sandwich.
Nothing you can do about it.
Love you more, Trasser.
Bye.
I love you. What a jump ball. 015 888 1123 is my number for a Sunday. This is the voice of reason. Hello, who's calling? Hello.
Hi, Alex. It's Colin.
Hello, Colin. What can I do for you, mate? Hello, mate. How's life?
You know something? You're just an absolute breath of fresh air.
I'm coming up to Blackpool tomorrow. I'm coming to the Winter Gardens to see my mate Bobby Davro, and John Conway's putting on a show. Do you want to come? Come tomorrow night, and we're going to have a lovely time.
I'd absolutely love to, because I've been in Blackpool for since about 2012. Originally from Northern Ireland, and it's quite strange in a way, because it's mostly political there. And I had a job in government, and it was great, like a breath of fresh air to get to Blackpool. Have an aunt that lives here and family and so on, and my partner's here as well.
Very nice.
I'm just saying that it's quite strange over here, because you're suddenly like embroiled in something else. Where in Northern Ireland you had like a political scene and so on, and then suddenly now being in England, it's like being thrust into something else, with wokery and so on.
Is that a problem over there? I mean, are they involved with the lefties? Is there this obsession with everything being... I brought you the video. The worst video of the week for me was the mother in the car. Go and look at this video. With a mother in the car listening to her two babies in the back, talking about how Jesus is non-binary and bisexual because he wears a dress. And she says, hang on, what did you just say? Non-binary, bisexual, wears a dress. And who told you this? My teacher. Says the baby in the back, goo goo gargaring. I'm talking 2, 3, 4 years old. I don't know how old these kids were. And the mother is holding her head in her hands. I don't know how they're allowed to get away with this. These teachers are dangerous. Honestly, it's awful.
Yeah. I actually don't think it's as bad over there. I'm 62 years of age, and very open-minded and so on. Very like pro-union, but at the same time, very much like other types of people living in the country and so on. And it was absolutely fine in a way. And we had the peace process, but I think coming to England and so on, it's like embroiled in this wokery, and I've seen a big change in England. It's been to me it's quite traumatic, and it's great actually to see your show and to have a right thinking person like me you know, like even your opinions, I'm totally 100% what is in my mind.
Well,
And,
what I don't
you know,
need, by the way, on this channel, we never set it up so that everybody agrees with me. That's not what I'm after. I'm
Absolutely.
after getting people to think in a different way and see things in a different way and bring my opinion, and then you might agree with it or not. And that's great. I love that. That's when the best calls we get are those who often don't agree with me. But what we've got is this narrative of a media that will not accept, for example, what happened yesterday in London that we're not really allowed to talk about is unacceptable, that they didn't cover thousands and thousands and thousands of people in this country who have a belief. And what did the papers do? What did the online people do? They said that these people were outrageous, far right, and anti this and da 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 da. You know what I'm talking about. They're not. These are desperate people who've had enough. I do not believe if you put 100,000 people in a room that more than 1% of them can be extreme, because the world doesn't work like that. These are normal, very, very angry people who feel they've had their liberties, their freedoms, their human rights, civil rights taken away, and they should be given a voice, and they're not. And it's disgraceful. And I'm sorry that here I couldn't cover it because I'm not allowed. The rules are very clear. You can't cover those things. I'm not even going to say the word to flag it.
Well, I totally agree with you, and I can't even mention it as well, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, I abide by the law, and I take, you know, every, like, precaution under the sun, and, you know, things like distancing and so on. And I know we really can't get into the subject, and, you know, that's how bad it is, because it's a no-no. But it's quite frustrating as well, you know, where we have all done our bit, and then suddenly then, you know, this, like, you know, can be threatened by, you know, what has happened with people getting into the country where we should have been locked down. But,
are you free tomorrow night, sir?
I absolutely am, yes.
Come and be my guest. I've got about 15, 20 people coming tomorrow as my guests.
Okay.
Wonderful people from show business who have come from all over the country. Producers and directors and comedians and stars and Andy and Helen, and we've got James and Robin and Aidan, and all kinds of people are coming. Wonderful people will be coming tomorrow to the Blackpool Winter Gardens, and we're going to go and see some of my favourite comedians, Bobby Davro being one of them.
Yeah. Just, what do I do, Alex? Do I just
drop me a note?
Do I phone up or something?
I've got your number here, and what I'm going to do is write it down, and I'll give you a call, and you'll be on the door. I'll get your ticket on the door and sort it out. And if anybody else wants, go on.
The only other thing I wanted to just to very,
hang on,
very
let me
gently...
finish this. Let me finish this first, and then just tell people, if you want to come tomorrow night, by the way, I'll get you some money off. I think it's £5. Just put celeb into the website. If you want to go, it's on tonight. It's on now, actually. And tomorrow night. And I don't make a penny. It's just to encourage people back into theatres and to have a laugh. So you can get a ticket. Just put celeb in at the Winter Gardens. If you want to see a panto next week, you can put in VORSB into the M&S website to see Sleeping Beauty, and I'll be there in the matinee tomorrow. So we're going to keep trying to get people out. You come and join me tomorrow. I've got your number. I'll ring you after the show. So very quickly, your final point.
That's absolutely fantastic. And just very fine, a very final word for you. I think what you're doing is absolutely fantastic for the silent majority. And
we're not the silent, but we're not. We aren't the silent. They want to believe. They want to make us believe we're silent. Trust me, there's nothing more vocal that 500,000 people coming together, and the figures are 306,000 subscribers, but most people listen in twos or more. And it's, you know, we have got an army of people here, and they'll rue the day they thought they could walk all over people like you and me, because I'm telling you, this silent majority that aren't that silent have had enough. And this bullshit will have to stop. I'm telling you, it will eat itself alive, and it already is.
Yeah, you were actually sitting about 290 subscribers, and that must have been about 5 or 6 weeks ago. And I was in Ireland, and all my family, my daughters and my sister, we all subscribed to you, and then the numbers began to bump up. So look, you know, it's just like this. If you ever have to go to court, you know, I would put my house for sale to, you know, to have this justice. You know,
well, I may have to, and you know what? I know their intention now is to bankrupt me, because unlike me, they have an infinite pot of money, because they've got backers at the BBC using public money, and they've done this from the beginning. And it's probably £1 million so far, what with the police and the BBC. They don't give two fucks about public money. But don't worry, karma's a bitch. And they've not done so well so far. They have had the entire BBC, their entire legal department, and the corrupt Nottingham police to destroy me, and they've so far got nowhere. So in a year, if they've got nowhere, where are they going to go now? Get me in front of a judge.
I think it's absolutely fantastic what you do, you know. And look, The other thing, just very, very quickly.
No, we're going to go. Call me back again. I'll see you tomorrow night at the theatre.
Okay.
Come to the Winter Gardens for about 7.
Nothing you can do about it.
See you tomorrow,
Okay.
sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that show at the Winter Gardens tomorrow, if you want to go. I'll get you a £5 off. Just put celeb in, and we'll be there with Bobby Davro and Billy Pearce and a load of comedians. We're going to have a time of our lives, so that'll be fantastic. Right, what have we got for you? 20 to 10. We'll do the mailbag in a bit. Hello, who's calling?
Hello, it's Chris, and I'm up in Preston in Lancashire.
Oh, lovely. No, not far. Don't tell me you want to come as well.
I don't think I'm going to make it, actually.
Oh, all right. Okay. Go on then. What can I do for you?
Sounds good. Sounds good. I might sort that out. Just a few thoughts. I'm sure you've probably thought that yourself, but I want to check out what you think. The chap that came to visit Mr. Swinscoe,
Yes.
they couldn't have made a decision themselves to take their numbers off.
Well, I'm told well, I don't know, but I'm told from what I hear from within is there was a discussion within the van. They were Googling me and they found out who I was, and a decision was made that they didn't want to be identified, even though he was appearing on Channel 5, and he's the boss man. We know that from Channel 5. And then he wanted to teach me a lesson by smashing in my front door. So good for him. We're already suing the Chief Constable over that. And to remind people, we have a no further action. So he can go and fuck himself with a cactus.
Okay. Now, I hear what you say, but I'm not sure that there couldn't be anything else to that, because if he decided that Swinscoe or any of them decided after a meeting, they got their seniors to answer to.
Oh yes, somebody sent them. I mean, yes, definitely. And we know that this is corrupt. We know that he didn't turn up by himself. There was a decision made to teach me a lesson. Absolutely.
There's the people upstream of them who are much higher, and then it goes higher still.
Yeah.
And the question that I've always asked myself since I first saw it, and you came on with it, was why are these people so desperate to ruin you? And I don't think it's just, they're jealous of me, I had a big show.
No, it's not.
There was a case, I can't remember the name of it, in Scotland, where there was a large pedo ring, and it was coming out with so many witnesses that it was a small town, a small village, but the police, the local judge, everybody in the establishment, the MPs, there was so much involvement that it just went really, really deep.
All right, I'm going to tell you one thing, and I'm not going to talk about it ever again. I made a report to South Yorkshire Police about a year and a half ago about a man I believed to be, at the very least, a sex offender, and I gave them, I think it was 9 girls' names, and I reported it to the police, and 2 weeks later I was told he'd been given a no further action, and if I named him, I would be arrested.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised, Alex, if people are protecting the back so strongly because it maybe goes on to far worse things in the closet that they never thought they would have to answer to, and that there's collaboration between the police and the other parties involved, let's say.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, sir, I don't know. All I know is I am the most squeaky clean man on earth. I think they believed if they kept looking long enough and deep enough and far enough, they'd find something and then be able to disparage me and besmirch me. Little did they realize I'm the most boring man on earth, other than liking a shag and a bit of Tug TV. There's very little else going on. I'm not a drug man. There's no weapons. There was nothing. And they look like complete pricks. And they showed themselves up to be the goons they are. They only needed to find one thing, and they won. That's what you have to realize. If they could have got me on one thing, and in a year, so far they haven't. Now, I don't know what you're saying is true. I have my suspicion that this is not about me on YouTube talking about Carol Vordernorks or even Diane Abbott, for that matter. I believe, like you, there is a very big plot that has failed, unfortunately. Where they go next, of course, who knows? But
I wasn't talking about whether you're squeaky clean or not, whether they think they can find anything on your planet there. I'm talking about whether collaboration goes.
I agree. No, I know exactly what you're saying. The idea was to silence me, to shut me up and get rid of me, because I'm the one with the biggest gob at the moment. Let's be under no delusions. The reason that the people at the BBC, who will be named eventually, I mean, unless they get a super injunction, which I don't think any judge in this land would do, because there hasn't been a charge, because they haven't got any evidence. When I name these people, they desperately don't want me to name them. Now, what are they up to that they don't want me to name them? What have they got to hide?
This is the point I'm getting down to. Some of the strongest reasons could be because they know what they've got in the cabinet, and they never thought they would get to where it could be questioned, looked into, or anything else.
I know, and I agree, and it's very interesting to me that one of the people who lied, his wife and 2 daughters sell themselves on Twitter, and another man has been in prison for 18 months. And you see, even they hired, a private investigator. And this was very interesting because this guy clearly set out to want to destroy me, and it failed miserably because, of course, there's nothing to say and nothing to see. And I'm going to read you an article, okay, that was written about this man. If you put in Mark Williams Thomas into into Google, this comes up, and this is a Daily Mail article written in 2018. How a self-promoting TV detective obsessed with celebrity sex abusers helped police ruin the lives of Sir Cliff and a string of other famous faces who all turned out to be totally innocent.
Yeah.
This was the guy that the BBC National Star used to try and find out shit about me. Mark Williams Thomas.
Was this the ex-policeman then turned private eye you mentioned?
Yeah, this is him. How a self-promoting TV detective obsessed with celebrity sex abusers helped police ruin the lives of many celebs, a string of other famous faces who all turned out to be totally innocent. And who am I? A man.
Definitely the agenda that they wanted to find for you.
Of course, they wanted somebody to come forward and say something, and then they could shut me down, hoping that you would believe it, and I'd already be gone before I could even reappear. Do you see how vile and disgusting and dark this is?
Yeah, absolutely.
And do you know what his results were? He came back. He put a statement on Twitter. Do you know what this man said? Who stupidly, by the way, confirmed that he is a friend of the person I'm going to sue. And we're looking at suing this guy as well, by the way. Do you know what he said? Alex Belfield has upset many people, and he's not a nice person. Well, okay, if that is my biggest crime, I'll take it. Yes, I'm very happy to upset liars and cheats and evil people. Absolutely, I'll take it. Now, that wasn't what they were hoping for. And if that didn't give them an indication as to what they were likely to find in here, I don't think anything will. It's as dark gets. And these dark forces who got together, I don't know what they're going to do next, because it has failed. I mean, it's too late to plant anything. If you found out tomorrow there was a press release that I've been charged with, I mean, it is. They've had my equipment for 10, 11 months, and they haven't found it. And suddenly now they found. I mean, stop it. This is absurd. Yeah. So I don't know where they go, and they won't reply. They won't reply to my lawyers. They have replied to say that they've acknowledged my High Court writ that I'm going to sue the Chief Constable, and they want 3 months to reply. Why do they need 3 months?
Just back on Swinscoe and his team, did you not have any right to be able to request which officers attended your house?
They didn't reply. They won't reply. Henry Brannan has written to them 4 or 5 times demanding I'm entitled to know who they are, and they won't reply. That's how corrupt they are.
They're hiding something big.
Yeah. Well, Caroline Henry, listen, write to Caroline Henry. This woman is the new police crime commissioner who says she wants to turn around this force that was voted the worst force in 2010, by the way, in the whole of the United Kingdom. This Caroline Henry needs to come and say, is she going to back me or them? Because she can't back both. And bearing in mind I've had a no further action, I think it's going to be very hard for her to defend her officers when they smash down my door wrongly with no evidence.
Landing retracted.
Call me a conspiracy theorist, but has this Caroline Henry been put in just at the right time to get rid of paddy tipping and what other people might say?
I don't know. I don't know anything about paddy tipping. All I know is he was useless. I asked him for help and he said he wouldn't get involved. So I told people not to vote for him. He's a weasel as far as I'm concerned. Same as the Chief Constable.
Caroline Henry might just be back into the team that they've got a bit hard.
I have no idea. But she has a choice now. What is she going to do? Defend a police force she's got to work with for 4 years, who have behaved abhorrently, who are harbouring a liar of a DC who changes witness statements and extends bail 3 times unlawfully? Or is she going to come out and say this is not acceptable, this is not the force I want to be representing, and something's going to have to change? She's got a choice to make, and it will be very interesting to see which choice she makes.
watch this space.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they get out of it. I've said this from the very beginning. Their hope was they were going to find something to destroy me and I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Well, we're now here with 306,000 friends, 500,000 viewers in total, and I'm still on the air. This has not gone well.
Apart from destroyed it.
I know, this has not gone well. Sir, thank you for your insight. I appreciate it very much. Love you.
I'm not sure whether I love you or not, but hey.
Well, don't go too far. Don't push it. It's only a Sunday. Tra.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Bye-bye. 015-888-1123. Anything you want to talk about tonight? Not me. Anything that's in the news that's on your mind, get it off your chest and on the air. 10 to 10 it is. Hello, who's calling? Hello?
Hello, it's Matt from Bristol.
Hello, Matt. How you doing? Any more statues been knocked down recently there?
Oh, tell me about it. I try to avoid that if I can, if at all possible. But no, I was just ringing to talk to you about the BBC.
Oh, the evil BBC. Yes, what about
Well,
it?
yeah, because something I've loved all my life is Doctor Who.
Yes.
And I followed it when I was a kid, Tom Baker, you know, the scarf and the big looks. And they turned it into a woman. And I'm not sexist. I'm not saying that I don't agree with the Doctor being a woman, but the show has become awful. You know, it's basically political propaganda. You know, every episode the Doctor is spouting about morals and who should be. You know, it's just wrong. You know, they've turned something that was beautiful and wonderful and that inspired me into something that I can't bear to watch anymore. I'd rather watch like my walls cry. I painted them. Is that bad?
I take no joy in this, by the way. I mean, I come from a place where I dreamed all my life of working for the BBC until I realised how evil they were.
Same here. Same here.
And I can't understand how light entertainment is no longer light. The whole point of light entertainment is that I don't want to see diversity taking to the knee on Britain's Got Talent, and I don't want to be completely brainwashed and propagandized by people who are writing for Doctor Who. Just make the fucking spaceship appear, blow something up.
Tell me about it.
They can't help it. And now, of course, they've taken another step further, which is, of course, the Anne Boleyn thing on Channel 5, where they've changed her colour and they say you can be anything.
Into a black lady. I mean, totally rewriting history. You know, I mean, there was a line in recent Doctor Who, well, Peter Capaldi Doctor Who, where they said that history is a whitewash. You know, they're trying to rewrite history, the BBC, you know? They're trying to just sort of put ideas into people's kids, you know, well, I say kids' brains because it's the children that are watching this. And it's like they're programming kids with misinformation, you know, to try and make them more in line with the current, you know, political ideas, you know?
But it isn't even born out of any facts. So, for example, when the BBC say we want 20 or 40% non-white people represented, well, there's only 15% non-white people in this country. Equally, I don't know why Cambridge University this week press released that they have got now, I think it was something, was it 40-something% or whatever? It was some ridiculous amount that they'd, 29, I beg your pardon, 29.3%, I believe it was. They'd got 29% non-white people signing up to the university, but the population's only 15%. So are they saying that, that non-white people...
representation.
Well, are they twice as smart as white people? Because if they are, we can't then argue that non-white people are disadvantaged.
The world's going crazy. It's going crazy, and I can't quite believe I'm actually speaking to you right now because, I mean, you have inspired me so much, mate. You know, when I first found you on the internet, I got to admit I found you a bit annoying.
I'm very annoying. Trust me, that's the idea.
You know, all the stuff about the BBC came out, and I'm like, oh my God, mate, I understand where you're coming from. You know, you're just trying to fight for the truth in a world where you're battered down for, like, being an honest human being.
And when you talk about this stuff, you see, they say, if I bring up Anne Boleyn, for example, on Channel 5, and they'll say, he's a racist. Well, okay, I have been called in the last year, and we're coming up to the first anniversary, and I'm going to do a big thank you to everybody on that day, because I have been called every name on this planet to destroy me. They have tried, and I'm not just talking about the trolls or the haters or whatever you want to call it, the police, the BBC, and none of it's worked, and I'll tell you why. People who watch this channel know my intent, and they hear it in context, and they can see that there is no cancel culture here. It doesn't exist on this channel. You're either a prick or not a prick. Now, there's somebody being cancelled today. Let me talk to you about Doctor Who and John Barrowman. John Barrowman has been cancelled. Now, I don't watch Doctor Who.
Land sausage.
Yes. So he was on, I believe, Torchwood. Now, that's the spin-off of Doctor Who, is it? Is that right?
Yeah. No, I'm a big Doctor Who. If you need Doctor Who facts, I'm the guy.
Okay, so
Torchwood series, it was an adult show. You know, there was lots of sex in it, but he didn't get his man sausage on screen in that. But behind the scenes, he did, obviously.
Of course. So Torchwood was the thing that followed Doctor Who, and he was the big star, and he's become a global star. The BBC have sacked him from that and edited him out, I understand, from the next series.
But he was great in it. I mean, no offence to what has come out about him, but I'm sorry, but John Barrowman is a
I like John. Listen, I like John, but here's my point, right? And I like John a lot. I've known John 10, 15 years. He's a great turn. I don't know his acting as much as his stuff on stage and his pantos and all that. He's been always very nice to me. When he had his autobiography out, I think we did an hour for the BBC.
Did he get his man sausage out?
He didn't. Funny, it's very funny, you know. Why don't people get their man sausage out for me? It's very weird. In all my life, I've never ever had anybody come up to me and show me.
You got a pencil dick, mate. You really shouldn't.
That's probably the problem, isn't it? Maybe I should start bragging more about my rhino
I
enormous.
think you're lying. I think it's all a big con, mate. I think you're hung like a donkey.
Sir, if you say that again, I shall sue you in the High Court. I'll get a gagging order from Savile Solicitors down in Cornwall.
For telling him he's hung like a donkey.
Anyway, stop distracting me. This wasn't why you called. So the thing is, right, so he went from the BBC...
I called about Doctor Who being...
Well, you're the one who brought up his man sausage, not me. So yesterday he was sent from dancing on...
He never got out for you, did he?
Right, but listen, here's the point. He has to go. Just because he's a gay man that is flamboyantly gay, not just a bit gay or behind the closet.
I'm a gay man. I don't get out my man sausages to people. That's wrong.
But that's the point. You've just said it. Just because you are doesn't give you the right, and just because it's a defence that you're not sexually harassing women because you show them, it's not right, and he has to go. And I implore Michael Harrison at Kudos at the new, I don't know what it's called, EastEnders Live or something, Coronation Street Theatre, or whatever they're calling it.
I don't watch it. I haven't paid my licence for 5 years, and it's not due to you, but I just hate the BBC.
The evil BBC, sir. Repeat after me, the evil BBC. He can't do Panto for the same reason. If you can't do Torchwood, and you can't, or I believe they're rebranding it Touchwood, by the way, for the new series, and it'll be on the Babe station. And he can't do Dancing on Ice, he can't do Panto because he's renowned for showing his cock, and it's not acceptable in 2021. Now, I can see why he has been cancelled legitimately, because we can't have the double standard that if I got out the cock, I'd be arrested and charged, and because he's a gay man who's funny and flamboyant, he can get away with it. We can't have that. This is different. That's what I'm saying. So there's cancel and cancel. Some people deserve it. And of course, this all came out because of the gentleman of colour that was the BAFTA award winner that threw him under the bus by this tape where he was going on about him whacking his cock over people's face.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's Noel Clarke. I mean, he was brilliant in Doctor Who. He's done some excellent movies. You know,
he was in Doctor Who.
They've been absolutely brilliant.
Was he?
You know, and yeah, he might be a bit of a ladies' boy. That's all I get from what I see in the press is, he maybe pushed it a bit too far, but because of the whole
let me tell you what they're saying.
And that whole mentality, now suddenly he's like this evil person. I mean, what was it? They cancelled the last episode of a series of his.
But let me just tell you what they're saying, and I see their point, but I don't agree with it, by the way. I defended him. I was the first person to defend him, not his actions, but saying he should be arrested and questioned. If you're saying what he's done is criminal.
Nothing had been proved. It was just accusations.
This is my point. Now, Twitter is deciding that people's careers have to be over, and this is no way to run a business. This is no way to run a humanity. That suddenly, when a load of lefties, and by the way, these are a group of women. Now, let me tell you what they're saying. They're saying he used his power and influence to get them in bed, and when he didn't get to fuck them, that he then didn't use them. Let me tell you, this goes on in every single business for time in memoriam, and I'm telling you now, it will continue to do. Rich, powerful people will always use their power, money, and influence to get their man sausage or lady parts serviced. This goes on in every industry, not just show business. Now, we can pretend it doesn't. And I wonder whether some of these...
I would like to think it doesn't, but that's not the real world we live in.
We know it does. We know, listen, all right, maybe not even...
That's not the world I live in.
If your face doesn't fit, you don't get the gig, right? That's always been the way in every... It's an extension of that. Now, I'm not saying it's right, but I want him to be charged with something or let him go, because I've seen myself... some fucking... What's his name? Femi Watawali was on the telly the other day, right? And this fucking dope, right, says, oh, well, if there's a lot of accusers, they must be believed. No. I've got a lot of accusers, and they're all fucking liars, and I will prove it. And they should all be sacked. Because you can't go around just accusing people of shit just because you're in a protected evil organization. And this is what's happened to this gentleman of color. That they've all got together, and he's finished. But based on what? How can you cancel someone based on speculation and people's accusations that might be born out of the fact that they were a bit ugly and didn't get the gig, or their lady jelly wobblers weren't as big as the other one? Because show business runs on discrimination. This poor man is finished. I can't see he could ever work again.
I know, and it's like I say, I mean, beautiful things like Doctor Who that I loved as a kid and as an adult have been like ruined by this.
But it's going to get worse, and they're now doing it more and more, and you see who's being hired. And, I mean, I'm looking at the lineup for breakfast on GB News. They've got 4 lady types and 2 men you've never heard of. Just give me 2 great people. I don't need a team of 17 people who tick every box. We've got fat, thin, old, young, tiny, meat, well hung.
I don't need BBC News or GBMT. All I need is you, Alex.
You're very kind, sir.
Support each day.
Have you seen John Barrowman's
Tell me what I need to know about what the world is going on, you know.
I'll do it for you, sir. Have you seen John Barrowman's husband's penis, by the way?
I missed that.
Well, he was doing a live on Facebook.
So I missed that.
Well, Google it. Very, very enormous. I'm telling you, I could use that. You know the drafts under your door? My granny used to have this snake thing she used to put under the door to stop the drafts in the winter. This is what we should be using John Barrowman's husband for. Right, sir, I better go. You're being filthy, you're being disgraceful, and I'm cancelling you.
I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I love you more. Anytime. Thanks, sir. Talk to you soon.
Take care, mate.
Bye-bye. Love you too. 015 888 1123 is my number for a Sunday night. Hello, who's calling?
Hello, it's Terry from Chesterfield, your favourite Transformer.
Oh, very nice. Love how you're doing. Is your spire still bent? I'm not talking personally. I'm talking about in Chesterfield.
We don't like to call it bent. We like to call it crooked.
Oh, crooked. A crooked spire, not a bent spire. I see. We shall keep it PC.
Don't call it bent, or I'll have to get
now
Dr. Constabulary around.
What have we had this week about the trans people? Because I get into all these rows, you see, and they tend to leave me alone quite a lot. I've got to be honest with you. They don't tend to pile on me like a lot of people. But we had a thing this week, didn't we, about trans? I can't remember what it was. It was a big story, but the PR's still not going great, is it? Why don't they just start being more embracing and leave us all alone and just be part? Oh, I know what it was. This is it in theatre. It's just come to me. Thank you, Tarquin, for my internal message. Trans people in the West End can only be played by trans people, which means that, of course, murderers should only be played by murderers. Giraffes in The Lion King should only be played by... They've not heard, the trans people, that acting is fucking acting?
Absolutely, yeah. Actors are actors, and they should act part of a character, whether that part be a murderer or a policeman or somebody that's in a wheelchair. It doesn't matter. It's an actor. It's an actor's job. It's not the job of a trans person to star in a film just because they're trans.
And presumably they're saying that trans people can't play a straight role or a bi role or what because they're trans. I mean, this is... How does this help? 80 theatres, 80 dopey fucking Celia types with folders under their arms and walk around and push pens and go, right, we're going to sort out the trans people. By the way, it was pans people in the 70s, now it's trans people.
I know, and I am over that age where I used to enjoy the pans people and all those legs. But yeah, the part of panto and theatre is all about the panto dame being played by a guy.
Well, that's gone now. Don't worry. They'll be putting their tits back up there. They won't be shoving any feathers up their arse this Christmas. Don't worry. They're going to be played by drag queens now. They don't have dames anymore.
Yeah, it's just that the whole society now is just gone into self-destruct mode. And every time I hear the word trans, whether it be on social media or mainstream media, I just give myself a headache rolling my eyes thinking, why can't these people just live a normal life like I do?
Yeah, bravo to you. Bravo, and congratulations, because I'm telling you, all we want is people like you to stop screaming at me, Stop telling me what to think and how to think it, and have a conversation. I don't feel remotely awkward talking to you. Yet when I see these fucking box stickers on the TV, my sphincter starts clenching, and I go, oh, I don't like you. I don't want to. We've got to stop this. It's not helping anybody or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with the word transphobia because there's no such word. I mean, a phobia is an irrational fear of, and nobody's afraid of a trans person. I've got arachnophobia. No. I hate spiders. Those eight-legged, horrible creatures, all right? And I stay away from them. If somebody was genuinely afraid of a trans person, they'd stay away from them, not attack them. So it's a load of
I have journalistophobia. Have you heard of journalistophobia? I don't like them. I'm petrified of them, and I run 100 miles when I see a journalist coming towards me because I've got journalistophobia. It's a terrible illness. Ooh, they give me the creeps. I can
a lot of people are starting to take up. I mean, David, have I got news for you?
Brilliant. Yeah.
I thought, well done.
But don't you find it staggering that the BBC would play him slagging off the BBC on the BBC about the BBC? The evil BBC are so thick. I mean, and by the way, have you watched Alan Partridge? What the fuck? Am I the only person to think this is the least funny bit of comedy ever? Only the BBC could mock the One Show by putting on Partridge taking the piss out of their premiere evening programme. How must that dopey Welsh woman Alex feel watching some dopey broad imitating her being more stupid than she actually is? We know she can't read an auto cue. That's her, let's call it a disability. It's not everybody can read. It's not Alex's fault that she gets words wrong and then doesn't know what to ask guests. That's the cuteness of the programme, right?
Yeah. Well, I know people bang on about the BBC Charter being 2027, but I think if everybody wakes up and cancels their subscription, because a lot of people don't watch live TV. They stream, they watch.
We don't need a referendum. They're saying they want a referendum. You don't need one. Just don't pay it. Cancel your license.
Before the end of the charter in 2027, so let's do it. But you know something, Alex? This is not why I called.
Go ahead. What did you call for?
About 6 years ago, I bought a bag of Jaffa cakes, and it said share bag on it. I mean, who the hell's going to share Jaffa cakes? And tonight, I've got a bag of Maltesers. It says family share bag. Who the hell shares Maltesers?
Absolutely, love.
The world has gone crazy.
Get them inside you. That's what I say. Don't you worry about that. Ram them in deep, love. One on each side, you look like one of them. Like this by the end. Both cheeks stuffed full of Jaffa cakes. I think it's the future.
I'm probably going to do that now. I'm going to let you go.
Right, you have a little chipmunk. All right, darling. Lovely to talk to you. Thanks again.
Love you. Bye.
Love you more. Ta-ra. 0115 888 1123 is my number. We are encompassing of everybody here. We discriminate randomly to everybody who's a fart head. We do discriminate on this program. And I'll have my day in court to defend the fact that this is a discriminatory program against fartheads. Everybody else is welcome, whether you are anything, you can come on here, just not fartheads. Hello, who's calling?
Hi, my name's Steve.
Hello, Steve. What can I do for you?
Stephen from the High Peak.
Not far.
Alex, huge respect for you, sir, and what you do. Your energy levels are magnanimous, and you put out a great show.
Thank you.
Interested to know about your plan B, plans for the future, because the big picture needs to emerge from the small picture. Your 12 months of success will emerge into a new world. What does that world look like?
Well, I spoke to Maya Tusi this week, and Maya's the second biggest talk platform in the UK on YouTube after me, and we had breakfast with him and Lacey just the other week, and we were talking about the future. He's jumped ship already because he knows his days are numbered, like I know mine will be eventually. Although I have to say, I have been saying every show for the last year, I'm going to get cut off and we're still here. So some don't think they don't know who we are, right? And I'm very smart. They think I'm a thicko. I'm actually very smart. I don't talk about things they say I can't talk about. And people say, well, he swears. There's no rules about swearing. You can swear. There is no rules. And when they change that, I'll stop swearing. So I'm playing by the rules. Listen, sooner or later, I think they're going to get me on a hate crime because they won't understand that. For example, we just had a trans caller on, and before that, we had a gay caller on. We invite anybody of colour here who isn't a farthead. Anybody who's not a farthead is welcome. And I don't believe I am any ist. I'm just fartheadist. I just don't like dickheads. And eventually someone will go, he's a bully, he's a this, he's that. Okay, fine, they might pull it over the line. So the plan is this. We are working, we've got two options. We've got Jim Davidson's Ustream, which we can go to. We've got Maya's got this platform he's working on. I want them to get it right and perfect and set up, and then we'll start migrating over. But the reality is, nothing is bigger than Google anywhere in the world. And whilst I'm given this option to be here, it would be absolutely moronic to come off it for many reasons, financially more than anything. And I've got huge legal bills. I've got a team of 3 lawyers who are 300 or 400 quid an hour, and I need money big time to fight these evil bastards who want to bring me down. At the end of that, I'm either going to have a huge pot of money and money won't matter, or I'm going to end up having to sell the house. There's only 2 ways it's going to go, and I have the belief in the truth. So I'm in a period at the minute where I'm just desperately clinging on, saying what I want to say within the rules, and then I believe there's enough people because, all right, we've got 306,000 subscribers, but in reality, probably 3, 4, 5% will come wherever we go, but that's still significant. So we've got this mailing list thing at alexbelfield.com, and then I can let you know where I'm going. There's no point me sending you there now because this is the biggest. I mean, to go on a TV and find me as easy as any other thing on your TV is incredible. I can't do that on any other platform other than YouTube. It's as simple as that. Does that answer your question?
It does, Alex. And I'm very aware of how the modern world works with procrastination and how they will drag their feet. You mentioned 3 months for the current investigation. Expect that to go to 9 and then 12 months.
Well, no, because it's not. No, I'm suing them, so it doesn't work like that. Now, I'm not saying they're going to write off all the other bullshit that they're doing. That's the police. They'll do whatever they can. But on this one, we have a no further action. I am suing the chief constable, and if he doesn't reply within 3 months, which he will, I mean, they'll have to. They've already acknowledged they've hired a solicitor and they've got this. We will go to the High Court and we'll win. I mean, they have to put in a defence within 3 months and say why they came here with no evidence and why they don't owe that money. They're not going to fight that. They cannot. I mean, it's ridiculous. It would be preposterous, and they'd look like complete tits. What they're going to do is do it to the final minute, and then either use the steps of the court or whatever. They'll push me as far as they can. You're right. Of course they will. But on this specific one, on the bomb thing, they haven't got a leg to stand on, and they know it. Now, the problem is, once I get that payout, and they know this, it then undermines everything else, because it proves that these people are fucking clueless. They think they're above the law. They don't follow the rules. And what they're hating at the minute, and I've got so many spies within Nottingham Police. Obviously, I live here. They can't bear that I'm having this conversation now, because that dopey twat that signed off the bail 3 times illegally has fucked herself. Because once you are discredited, once you are proven to be a liar, no court's going to take her seriously. So anything she said, I'm telling you now, when we get into court, they're going to have to start this again, because it's either going to have to be thrown out or started again, because she is not credible. She has lied and cheated and is dyslexic and can't spell right, remember a pen. She's not credible, and no judge is going to fall for that. Trust me. What they're trying to do is prevent me getting in front of a judge. That's the game.
Yeah, I understood. So we talked just now about on the steps and a substantial offer that's pushed your way, which you cannot refuse. So that will be presumably within the next 3 to 9 months. What is your program, your plan after 9 to 12 months?
Once I get that, I'm told I don't have to sign a non-disclosure, so it doesn't. Then I can talk. Then people, once they settle, trust me, the nationals will pick up on it, and the interviews will start, and the momentum will build again. So what we need, this takes a long time. Everything in law takes a long time. The problem they've got is, how are they going to get out of the shit? Because they have not got moral high ground. I can prove one of the accusers is a criminal. I can prove one of them has his wife and 2 daughters as sex workers. I can prove they lied and sent an email to themselves. I can prove that the man who wrote the original email works for the BBC, claimed to be from the BBC. I can prove the idiot that published it. I can prove everything. There's nothing to not prove. And they haven't got anything on me. What they wanted to do was find something so bad it would close me down and cancel. They failed. basically they failed. So now they're fine. Now they're trying to find any way of gagging. That's not worked because the law is unfortunately on the side for them, not me, is on the side of they've done their investigation and the line has been drawn. You cannot gag him anymore. And that's why the national broadcaster has gone to the High Court to try and injunct me to silence and gag me, like Kay Burley, I'm hearing today, is done with Diamond's son Jacob. She's accused of bullying him. He says she's not a very nice person and is bullied. She says he's trying to ruin her career, and she's gone to her lawyers to gag him. Now, there's similarities here, right? That very rich people with power and influence want to shut up people like me and Jacob Diamond. Draw your own conclusions.
Got it. So back to, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire, Alex, on your 9, 12, 18-month plan. When you've had the offer on the steps and
well, I can't plan. Here's the thing, right?
Okay.
I love the line. My favorite line is start making plans and God will have the next laugh, right? I've never planned ever, because as soon as if I said to you, right, in July, we're going to, listen, something will happen. I've learned in life, I've lost enough people. I've had amazing gigs that I've had and lost, and I've got this amazing blessing for a year. I'm better taking every day by every day, every day. I know what tomorrow, we've got 10 videos. I can guarantee you tomorrow you're going to see 10 videos, unless they chop me off in the meantime. Then the next day, I've got the idea for the next 10 videos. And then on Wednesday, we'll do 10, and then I'll do a live show. It's much better to do that because I don't know what they're going to do next. Listen, on Thursday, they went and arrested a man in London over the real bomb threat. Now, we know why they did that, because they're hoping that I'm connected to that person. And when they get the tippy-tappy, they're going to see lots of conversations between me and him, begging him to go and do a threat to the BBC on my behalf, and then they can come and get me. Right, that hasn't happened because it never happened. But here's what I think they're going to find. I don't know who this person is. I have absolutely no idea. But I suspect you don't do what he did, if he did it, without being invested. And I believe when they get that laptop, they're going to see that a lot of the things I've been accusing people of are going to be on that laptop. Because I don't think this person would have randomly done that. I think now you're going to see the snakes running from the rocks. And, you know, like when you lift a boulder and all the ants go, this is going to be interesting. Because I'm going to make another prediction. I'm telling you my plan. Listen, this is the problem the police have got. They're going to need to blame someone, right? And they can't blame me anymore. They haven't got any evidence. They haven't got a charge. They've been in the house. They've found nothing. I'm now suing them. And they're going to have to pay me. Now, who are they going to blame? They're going to want to blame the liars, and they're going to turn. They're going to have to turn, because if not, the police are going to be to blame. Now, the police have been lied to. Let's not forget that. The evil BBC constructed a witch hunt of lies, which the dopey DC fell for because she's thick. That's my opinion. And I can defend it in the court of law. Trust me. I've got enough proof this woman is not intelligent. She's not emotionally intelligent. She's corrupt as far as I'm concerned, and a liar, and deliberately misleads many, many times, because that's what she thinks she can get away with. Who are they going to blame to get her out of this shit? They're going to have to find somebody, right?
Alex, we love what you do.
Thank you, mate.
Also, great concern about looking at your eyes on the screen. Mate, you need a rest. You need a break. You need.
I am tired. I want a holiday. We can't go on holiday.
Yourself.
I can't go on holiday. There are no holidays.
It's a huge stress, a huge burden shared amongst your closest and dearest and nearest. Mate, we care for you. We think about you.
Listen, I get great. We're always tired when we're working. I've got a couple of days where I'm going to go away. I'm taking the kids. We're going to go to Skegness on Tuesday and take the dog kids and load of. We're going to have a wonderful time on Tuesday. So I'm away. Tomorrow I'm in Liverpool and Blackpool. I never stop. I'm not a guy who can ever stop. But the energy I get from you lot, the kindness I receive when I just go for a walk in the park or to the pub, I haven't met one arsehole yet, I promise you. And I'll read you some of these letters in a bit. I mean, it's overwhelming. It's incredible. And this is my duty to you. I talk about duty all the time, and my duty is to do this. Now, of course, I want a holiday. I've tried 5 times to book a holiday, and it's been cancelled. That's not my fault. That's not your fault. That's the mess we're in. Listen, what the fuck am I going to do if I'm not talking to you? There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. There's no. So please don't feel bad. And I'm just, honestly, every day I wake up, I'm driven by your kindness and your warmth and support. So. And you've got me through the year. I don't think I'd be here unless I'd have had this purpose And somebody upstairs has seen this. I don't know who has made this happen, because there are so many stars that have aligned that you couldn't make up, you couldn't write. You know, that I mean, the fact that the guy that bashed my door in who didn't want to be identified the following week was on Channel 5. God's looking down on, right? Somebody, I'm not a religious person, but somebody. So thank you for asking. Cheers, sir.
So, Alex, my grandmother used to say, don't let the bastards grind you down. Wish you all the best. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Thank you.
Mate. Thank you anytime. Call again. Ta-da. 0115 888 1123 is my number for a Sunday night. It's 10 past. Hello, who's calling?
Hey up, Mush. How you going on? It's Joe from North Links again.
Hi, Joe. Thank you very much for your email. I was going to respond. I have had a week of unbelievable stuff to get done. You sent a very nice note to Tarquin, and apparently the NHS have let you down. Is that right? That you've got this stent thing or something, and a pacemaker, and they won't change it. Please tell me the story.
Yeah, I spoke to you earlier on it here, actually. No, and
I remember it fully. Absolutely every word of it. I remember it.
Yeah, they put me a pacemaker in 2015 with a 5-year battery life in November 2015. It should have been changed last November. And they won't change it. They won't see me. They've not seen me for over a year. I should have a 6-monthly checkup, and I've not had the face-to-face checkup. They won't see me face-to-face. I've now had a letter, not last week, week before. I've got a new appointment for my next alleged checkup, where they're supposed to read it, they download the memory, to read what's been going on with it, etc. They're not going to do it. They sent me an appointment for July, just after my birthday, actually. So that's 9 months after they should have changed the battery in my pacemaker, and they're going to do the appointment over the phone.
And all you really want is this fucking thing changing, right? I mean, it's not that complicated. It needs to. I mean, what do we need a consultation for? I mean, you know what it is, and you know it's got to be replaced, right? So, what are we wasting time for?
Well, you tell me. COVID is what they tell me. We can't see you because of COVID. Well, yeah, COVID's COVID. Yeah, that's fine.
Which hospital is this? Do you want to name them, or would you rather not?
Well, I'd rather not.
Okay.
It's a large West Yorkshire teaching hospital.
Okay.
A very large West Yorkshire teaching hospital.
What is their excuse? Because this is presumably life or death. A pacemaker is there to regulate your heart.
It's in the letter. It's written in the letter because of the COVID problems, restrictions. They won't see me. They won't read the pacemaker.
This is life and death. If your heart is irregular and needs to be leveled out, this thing sorts it out, presumably, right? That's the purpose of it. And if
I've got heart failure.
Of course.
I've got heart failure. I had a heart attack when I was 49. I'm 59 now. I'm 60 this year. I've had this thing in for over 5.5 years now, and the flatly refusing to see me face to face.
Who is your MP?
Andrew Percy.
Okay, I'm going to clip this video and put it up on Tuesday, and I'll send it to him and let him comment on how he feels that a man who's had a heart attack, who's got a pacemaker that needs changing, can't get it changed. When are they going to, have they given any indication when they're going to actually do it? Because we're now 6 months overdue, right?
No. They won't give me any indication when they're actually going to do it. Like I said to you, the next appointment they've given me is at the end of July, where they'll conduct an over-the-telephone appointment, at which point they're supposed to read the pacemaker, tell me what it's doing, read its battery life, etc. They can't do that over the phone. Surely to God they cannot.
But to be clear, it should have been changed in November. Is that what you said?
Landing gear.
Yes, I had it put in November 2015. They told me when they put it in, it's got a 5-year battery.
So I think your phone's actually just clicked off. Let me see if I can go back to him and just get him back on the phone. Hang on a second. Let me just press that. Don't know why that went off. Let's see if this will ring, and hopefully he'll come back on the phone. Don't know what happened there. Oh, I think his phone's run out because it's gone to. Yeah, it's gone to that. So listen, I'm going to send this to your local MP, and we'll see what we can do. But you don't need to be a rocket scientist to work this out, right? November. January, February,
Frame shift
March,
drive
April,
charging.
May, June, July. That's almost 8 months. Alex, I think you'll find it's 9 months. No, don't start that, Diane. We're going to speak to your MP and find out why they won't change a pacemaker that ran out 9 months ago, because this is outrageous. And I'm sorry about the cockamamie schemes about the COVID and all this nonsense. It needs to be changed. I'll sort it out for you. Thank you for your call, sir. Right, let's move on for a Sunday. It is 23 after 10. And yes, hello, sir. Who's there?
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
Oh, Alex, it's Adam.
Hello, Adam. What can I do for you?
Hello. Oh, my God. Sorry, man. I woke up literally 10 minutes ago. I thought, oh, man.
Well, hang on. Why weren't you here at 9 o'clock? It's 9 o'clock sharp. You need a note for your doctor, sir.
No,
don't laugh. I'm serious.
I've had a busy day, Alex.
Well, so I've had a fucking busy day. I've made 10 videos. I've been down to the pub. I've been looking at large jelly wobblers. Everybody gets them out when the sun comes out. What's so special about you? You can't be here on time. This is outrageous.
3, 2, 1.
No, I'm not normally so busy, you know.
I will let you off this once, but I need assurances from you from Wednesday and next Sunday you will be here at 9 o'clock sharp. Is that okay?
No, promise.
All right. So what were you doing? Tossing and turning? What happened in this nap?
Right. I was up early. Literally about 5 o'clock.
Yes.
I walked all the way to the park. I walked all around the park.
Does this story get any more interesting, sir? So far you've been asleep and you've woke up and walked around the park. And then what happened?
No, it's not like me to do this type of thing.
What, wake up and walk around the park?
Yeah.
Oh, right. What are you medicated, sir? How many fingers am I holding up?
Frame shift drive charging.
You're not on the telly, I don't have a clue.
Oh, right. Okay. So why are you ringing me? What can I do to help you, sir?
No, I just wanted to tell you that I'm doing okay and, yeah.
Oh, I know who you are. You're the gentleman with the mother, aren't you?
I am.
I see. You should have said that. I was trying. Could you help me? I speak to hundreds of fucking people. I'm not psychic. I've worked it out now who you are. Good. You're doing great.
Okay.
Now, you see, you said to me, I woke up and took a nap and went to the park. This is nothing to normal people, but you're not normal. You're extraordinary that this was something that you couldn't do a few weeks ago. Now, you need to apologize to the nation because I'm not meant to, I mean, what do you want me to be, fucking psychic? Right. So you weren't able to do this sort of thing and you've now gone out. This is amazing. Thank you for calling back. Well, you didn't tell me, sir. I'm not bloody man. I'm not a mind reader, sir. Right, now we're getting somewhere. So you've been struggling and you've got out of the house. How's it going with Mum? How's your relationship with her?
Incredible, brilliant.
This is fantastic. How did it feel walking around the park by yourself for the first time?
It was lovely. Everything fell into place today, to be honest. It was
good. Now, what about shops? Are shops intimidating to you? Is it overwhelming, or are you better in an outdoor space?
It was. I'm not scared of these. There's groups of kids all around the shops. You know what I mean? They don't intimidate me anymore.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. So we're around the park, and the sunshine today was magical, was it?
It was beautiful. Yeah. I took a few videos and yeah.
That's fantastic. And what is it like to smell the trees and smell the flowers and smell the grass that's just been cut and see people and see water and ponds and swans and things like that?
Just, yeah, everything fell into place. You said you might bump into someone.
Yes.
That doesn't give a fuck what you look like or anything.
That's right,
like
you
that.
meet people. So let's just explain to people, you've got scarring or whatever, let's call it a rash.
No, not scarring.
What is it?
It's eczema.
Eczema, okay, fine. But it's something that I don't think the average person cares about once they get to know you. All right, on a dating app, people are going to perhaps swipe left, a bit like gingers. Nobody's going to want to get laid with a ginger who's got micropenis, sir, so I feel your pain. So when people see you, have they been going, oh, this is disgusting, I need to run 100 miles, or have they actually been quite nice to you?
No, not at all, no.
Well, there you go. You see, people don't care. They're just interested in your humanity and who you are and whether or not you're an arsehole. This is wonderful.
There's a fella I met on a bench, right?
Yes.
Because I went there really early.
It wasn't John Barrowman, was it? It didn't show you his penis.
Ah!
Yes, go on. You met a man on a bench.
With my exact name.
Yes.
My same name. I met him in hospital. Ooh, last year, early last year. Yeah. And we were all calling the same name. So I went, yep. And he went, yep.
They thought, yeah, great.
About 2 weeks later,
yes,
I saw him down the street. And he went, that's you from hospital, isn't it? I went, no, I remember you. A couple of weeks later, somewhere so totally different, I saw him again. I went, that's you, isn't it? He went, yep. Today, I saw him on the bench. He went, that's you, innit? I went, oh my God, that's you, innit?
Landing gear deployed.
That was just strange to me.
Well, these things, I'm telling you, when you open your front door, miracles happen. You meet lovely people, you might meet the odd arsehole, but we don't worry about them. We go and find the beauty, and we go and find the light and the love. And I'm telling you, this is wonderful. What's step 2? So now we're going in the park. What's the next ambition? What would we like to do next? What would make you happy? A pub, or is that too much?
No, I can't.
Okay.
No.
How about, this is just an idea.
I want to apologise, by the way.
You don't need to apologise to me. I don't want to hear any apology from you whatsoever. You've nothing to apologise for. I won't hear it. So we'll move on.
I've rewatched.
No, I'm not hearing your apology. I don't want to hear it. Thank you. You don't need, sir.
Like a right
sir. No, you did not. I won't have you say that. Take that back. I will not hear you say that on my program. You did not, sir. I'm not having it. Sir, I don't want to hear it. You did not. Don't argue with me. You did not. I did not think that of you, and nor did any of my listeners. Now, an idea for next week. The sun is shining for the next 3 days. It's going to be 20 degrees plus. How about going to a pub who will come and serve you? And I assure you, no server is going to mock you, laugh at you, or anything. Sit in a discreet corner wherever you feel comfortable, and go and buy yourself a pint of whatever it is you like to drink. I don't know, whiskey, vodka, beer, whatever it is you want a pint of, and sit in a corner where you feel comfortable.
I shouldn't be drinking anything, to be honest.
Well, all right.
I'll have a pint of something.
A pint of blackcurrant and water, whatever. That's what I have during the day. Right, a pint of blackcurrant and water, lemonade, whatever it is, whatever tickles your trout. And sit, and then you'll see they don't give two fucks. You will order the drink, and they will look at you and say, "Sir, what would you like?" And you pay for it, and then you go, and then you suddenly realise pubs aren't as hideous as you think they are. I mean, I've been there today. I've got ginger hair, so I've no sympathy for you. Nobody mocked and laughed at me to my face. They went in the public toilets to do it after.